Hey, what's going on? How is everyone?
Doing great.
Hello, hello.
Awesome to hear.
Happy
Hey,
Monday.
hey. Happy Monday, man. Let me just get everything set up here. How was everyone's weekend?
Solid. How about you?
Relaxing.
Yeah, what did everyone end up getting into?
Yeah, I was working over the weekend.
Oh, sweet.
You'll
That's the
find
thing, I
out
mean, there's
when
not
you open
much.
my document.
There's not much else to do nowadays but work on the weekend, so it's kind of a bummer, but
Yeah, I was gonna jam with some friends, but they had to cancel because the guy's amp stopped working. He has to get it fixed next week for sure.
I didn't know you played. What do you play?
I play drums.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm learning guitar. I don't feel confident enough to play as part of a band or anything, but it's
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds awesome. Well, all right, let me pull up. Share my screen here. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Awesome. Peter, what's going on, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm well.
Awesome. Nice, man. Let's just look at, I guess, the lead for this. I don't want to look at 7,000 words at once.
Sure. Was there, let me see, cut and paste.
Just ignore Cody's comments. So the first bullet obviously is more beginnerish.
Yeah, which I think is the way to go. Where's where I got from my Dennis? So I like the this is me being nitpicky. I like the sentiment of this. I don't know if that's the exact wording. Maybe not like master's degree, but like everything you need to know in one place.
Okay.
So to get number one combination. I wonder if it's like the only company you should be using.
Yeah, that's fine because there's two, but one is better. So, yeah. And so I added, some stuff below these bullets. So
Great. Yeah, this is awesome.
okay.
I think the more we can make this sort of a, hey, this is everything you need to know about supplement, the
Mhm.
supplement business. Oh, and also I called in a few favors and I got some friends to talk about a bunch of other stuff too.
How many people should
Because
I be adding into like this? Like is 3 enough? Like should I just keep going? I mean, there's 31 people.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't do 31 bullets, right? You know what you could do too, because what we don't want to is like this can get a little bit stuffy.
Yeah,
So what you could do, am I allowed to type on this?
of course.
You can basically make these bullets a little bit shorter. So you can go like, that's not all. You know, we also have Mike explaining XYZ, Peter explaining ZYX or XYZ, Frank, whatever, Natasha. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to make them each one sentence. So that way you can actually still squeeze in a bunch without actually having to take a ton of like, I don't know, real estate.
Okay. That's cool. I did add the thing about the Rolodex too, but or the Facebook, but we're actually gonna take that out and move it into the upsells because Cody doesn't want to do it. So
But yeah, I mean, I can imagine. That's fine.
Yeah.
So are you removing this altogether?
yeah, probably remove that.
Cool.
It'll be in the upsell.
We did all of this. We did all of this. Will you be next? Yeah, this is all great. Otherwise, everything's sort of in the right place. I think now it's just like sharpening a bit of the language. Like this is me being nitpicky, right? Like maybe you've heard of that company, maybe you've heard of it. It's a little bit like redundant in places like that. And I think if you read this thing, you'll find little places where you can actually cut some of the fluff.
Okay. Sweet.
And then the only other thing is, I don't know. This kind of sounds like a financial promo, right? Which I think in a lot of ways it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if we want to talk like these are early adopters because it's not. This isn't like Bitcoin, you know. This isn't like some trend that just popped up. Like supplements have been around forever, but it's just gotten accelerated due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously, I don't know if you can actually. I mean, this is an info product, so I actually don't know if there are any problems with saying something that's very matter of fact, which is people are buying supplements now more than ever, which means we're only like this is just the beginning of what's to come or something like that, right? Because I think it's the same thing, like, hey, people are doing it, but it's about to get wild. So it's sort of the same, like, hey, if it's almost like, hey, if you've been waiting, you know, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment to get started on your supplement business, like, ta-da, you were right, it's today. You know, which is very similar to that marijuana promo I shared with you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, good, I'm glad you waited. You're super smart. And you're so smart that I'm going to show you exactly how to get started today.
Okay. Yeah.
And then everything else is basically here. I mean, I think you just basically tighten up some of the language.
Yeah.
And then from there, just add in this aura of like all-in-one, complete, like you'll never need anything ever again, period. Like the definitive guide on XYZ.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And from there, yeah, I think the lead's great.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Everything else is pretty dialed in. The rest of the page, just some story stuff we need to edit, but beyond that,
cool. Sweet, man. Yeah, this looks great.
Cool. Nice. I think it's.
Was there anything else that you wanted me to look at here?
No, I mean, it's fine. I don't want to take up too much time for lots of people on here. So
no worries. All right, bro. Well, yeah, good work, man.
Thanks, dude.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not much. So this is basically for the Trugenics heart support supplement. I already submitted it. I'm basically just writing new headlines and leads to test. So basically, I just want to go over the first, set of headlines if you can, but most importantly, the lead one.
Sure. So there's already an established control that you're trying to beat.
Well, it's not a control. I literally submitted the project, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or something, and he already hired me for more headlines and leads. Like they didn't
cool.
test anything.
Nice. Okay. Sweet. All right. Let me. Is there a reason why you're putting Ayurvedic healers in quotes like this?
I don't know. Maybe just to make it not sound so woo-woo or something.
I think putting the quotes makes it sound more woo-woo.
Oh, okay.
Like imagine if you said, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Imagine sitting down and ordering a steak from a menu at a restaurant and they had the word steak in quotes. You'd be like, that's for sure not steak.
Got it.
You know what I mean? So I would remove the quotes here. And I also think, you know, if you have two sort of things in the quotes, it's a little bit weird for me to read, you know, as a reader. I'm just like, what's going on? Yeah, now proven great. 6 seconds. Same thing here, like why have 3 different terms in quotes, right? But I probably like disarming found in ancient have been confirmed by you don't sense covered. So I probably like the sentiment of this best, but I don't know if it's the best headline. And the reason why is because, you know, the key with all these like forgotten discoveries is like, hey, people have been using this for like 4 bajillion years. And like, we've never known how it works, just that it does. And today, which gives it occasion, right? Today, Harvard Medical School finally has confirmed exactly how this works and made it better than ever, blah, 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 blah. So it's nice to go basically back in time and then to the present here.
Okay.
So I like this one probably the best. You could even be like, you know, Harvard Medical School suggests yes. Yeah, so I like number 2 the best.
Okay.
What's the actual phrasing of like what is this supposed to be? What are the ticking time bombs?
Oxidized cholesterol.
So why don't you just say research suggests that cholesterol invading your blood vessels? Like I wonder if it's almost too back, I'll admit, nothing will quack to my coast, but science is finally catching on. So I almost think you make this sentence about this remedy and not the problem.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because right now, if we look at this, there's a lot sort of going on, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but in terms of like streamlining this lead, you know, we have these ancient physicians, right? We have Eastern Form Medicine, we have Harvard, we have disarming molecules, we have ticking time bombs, we have a new solution. It's like 7 different things in 7 sentences. So I almost think if we simplify this, it's literally just like, dear reader, you know, in the year this, they did this. Now it's proven to be a breakthrough, blah, 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 that could do all of this cool stuff and stop cholesterol from invading your blood vessels, knocking off ears and blah, blah, in a way we didn't think was possible until now. Because Harvard Medical School confirms that this disarming molecule, blah, 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 do all this great stuff. So when, that's the way I would sort of play around with it, if that makes sense. And I realized what I just said made no coherent sense, but I think you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Let me know if not.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Just one thing is that really just for the ticking time bomb part, that is something like first I just did it for curiosity, and then I explain it later. But in the actual sales letter, I did get it checked by like a lot of people, like Stefan and Justin too, and they didn't say anything about it. But basically this is just the lead that I'm submitting, so it's already in the sales letter. You know what I mean? Like throughout the letter.
No, totally. And I don't think this is a bad idea. I think on line 5 or 6, it's a little bit too much too fast because you open about this solution, right? So I want to hear more about this discovery. I want to hear more about this breakthrough a little bit. I don't need the problem yet until a little bit further down in the actual sales page, in the lead rather. Like here's where I would introduce taking time bombs, which is what you do here.
Okay.
Like this sentence should be about the breakthrough research that proves the solution works, not that there's a problem.
Got it.
Make sure you keep reading. Is there anything we can do to prove this? Like this is a big claim, right?
I guess for the one thing you just said about doctors being 10 years behind, I mean, I did say right after that, maybe that's why many physicians secretly have the same exact health problems as you. Or I could say maybe but just about how they look, that they look overweight, so it's more obvious. I'm not really sure how else to prove that. Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if it's like, if this is a financial promo, I'd probably write something like, their medical training is always 10 years behind. Like they're up to their ears in Obamacare paperwork that they forget to even check up on the newest studies.
Okay.
That's why you walk in and they're fatter than you are or whatever, right? Like that's not perfect copy.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, other than that, I think the main keys here are just get really clear on what sort of your assets are and how to rearrange them in the best way possible, right? Taking time bombs, disarming molecules, and all the quotes and stuff. And then in the lead, just getting very, it's a little bit scattered right now from sentence to sentence.
Okay.
So I think just streamlining it by removing the ticking time bombs until further and just talking about this new breakthrough and how it's giving hope to millions would be the way to go.
Got it.
And a book I would recommend have you read Great Leads by?
It's on my list.
Yeah, dude, read it. I think it'll help cement a lot of the stuff we talked about today.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, good work, man.
Thank you.
Hey, Mike, I think I had a link before Hamad did. It's all good if you want to wait on me. It's just, I just don't want to make sure I don't get missed.
Yeah, no, man. I'm looking at my chat right now and it says he went first. I think you guys just submitted at the same time.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, you're next anyway, so what's up?
All right, so we're moving on from skin.
Sweet.
Trying to learn my lessons and not overcomplicate things. So I'm working on a mechanism for a sleep product supplement, so ingestible. Audience is women in their 40s and 50s. The client's got some stuff related to menopause and perimenopause already, so we want to kind of hit those notes without pigeonholing ourselves too much. And I honestly think that this could probably work for both genders, but that's a discussion I'll have with the client. For now, we're talking women, 40s and 50s, with many of them having underlying issues with menopause and perimenopause. The supplement has both sort of natural extracts and sort of the raw hormones and neurotransmitters, or just the chemicals, right? So you can extract passion flower down to an extract that has all of the plant components, and then you can actually extract GABA from the passion flower to have pure GABA in the formula. So we have both, the pure molecules and the extracts of the whole plant. So I know that a bunch of people, including you, did GABA, so we're not focusing on GABA. It's not unique anymore.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you read that promo I sent you?
Yes, I did.
Great.
So my key question is getting the solution to be unique enough. You'll see that I'm in love with the problem, and going back to my previous mistakes, trying to have one problem, one solution that's clear, easy to message. So here's like a rough outline of what I have for both.
Great. And actually, dude, I'm actually writing a menopause promo right now. So can you send me your guys' menopause and perimenopause sales pages? I'd love to take a look.
Yes, I can.
Thank you. Are these changes specific to, like, what are these changes?
A decline in dopamine and serotonin.
Okay.
Which I reveal later.
Cool. So the two electrical circuits are, delta sleep versus sleep static sleep.
No, so the two circuits I'm not even going to touch. They're super complicated. It's like the hyperpolarization something electrons and like the potassium leak whatever thing. I'm not getting into it.
No worries.
As you will see here.
Okay, so to enjoy, you need to prevent these two circuits in your brain that cause sleep static. Dopamine and serotonin are the answers. Do I need something here?
Right, so I'll let you read.
I think it is unique enough. I think it's a little bit more complicated than we need it to be. So if we're not, like, do we even need to set up the fact that there's this? Why don't we just drop sleep static instead of saying there are two short circuits that cause sleep static? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
because
can I type on this?
fixing those short circuits is how the solution gets tied back to the problem.
Can I type on this?
Sure, yeah.
So right now we have two circuits which go nuts, which leads to sleep static, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the solution then fixes these circuits or fixes sleep static?
You need to fix the circuits to make the static go away.
Got it. I guess my, not confusion, but the reason why I think this is jumbled is because two circuits with two separate solutions almost. Like, I wonder if we can just say okay, two circuits go nuts, sleep static, you need to fix both circuits, right?
Yeah, and that's, and I
Alternatively,
did that on purpose because if I focused on serotonin, for example, like plenty of other products have 5-HTP, which is serotonin, or they'll talk about serotonin. And the other circuit is dopamine and related to like GABA and stuff. So again, I was like trying to make it, trying to come up with a way that is logically coherent and allows me to say, oh, you may have heard of these ingredients before. They've never been combined like this to do both.
there you go. Okay, then that's better then. So run with that.
Yep. So I think if you go down to the product reveal too, we have like L-theanine, which is not in either of the two top competitors I researched. Plus, I found some studies that showed L-theanine plus GABA are even better for sleep. So like at that point, I can drop all the GABA boosting nutrients. There's like 15 ingredients in this thing. So like I'm trying to do my best to like organize and message things in a sequence that like makes sense without going, super overboard.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So then I like it, man. The biggest sort of liability is what, as you've mentioned, like these are kind of not boring ingredients, but it's really tough to have a hero ingredient for something I can just go on Amazon and purchase.
Right.
So we either need to keep L-theanine a secret for very, very, very long and make it as compelling as possible, or we have to lean on a super compelling narrative, because you can't just say like breakthrough sleep tonic has L-theanine. It's like, great, thanks, dude.
Right. So that's where I was thinking that the fact that some of the competitive products talk about boosting serotonin with 5-HTP, but I haven't seen any talk about boosting both dopamine and serotonin. So I think getting that to be the key message, like these two circuits short out, causing sleep static. So you need to address both circuits to make the sleep static
At the
go
same
away.
time.
And no other product is specifically designed to do both. You may find one that does one, you may find one that does the other, but nothing has this exact formula to do both. And that's sort of like marketing speak. Like nothing is specifically designed to do this because I just made this up.
Well, yeah, dude, it's toasted, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's great, man.
Cool. All right. So
I
yeah,
think
my
run with
concern
it.
was like dopamine and serotonin snooze. I've heard this before.
Well, it is a bit of a snooze, right? And I think if there's a way we can go a little bit deeper, that would be great. But I think the sleep static stuff might be compelling enough to just,
Yeah, because again,
you
trying
know,
to
like,
get into the
none-
specific circuits, they're like it's like brains. Like it took me hours to try to understand some of this stuff in these studies.
Yeah.
It was like really intense brain chemistry. So like I don't want to go near it.
yeah. So it's almost like, you know, So the basic gist then is that all of the shit you've tried is garbage because it only tackles one of these circuits instead of both. But when you tackle both of them at the same time, whoa, Nelly, you're out like a light.
It's like, well, most don't tackle any. Most don't have anything that touches this. Some, but you may have seen 5-HTP in this, you may have seen GABA in that, but no one's ever combined all of these to address both at the same time. That's why ours is the best.
Great, run with it. I love it. I think, dude, just like the level with which you're looking at some of this stuff, like your marketer brain is firing on all cylinders compared to us talking about the mechanism problem of the last promo. Like this is just so much more clear. Great work, man. I'm hyped for this. This is awesome.
Yeah, trying to really say like, no, one thing, only one thing, right? I caught myself wanting to go into each of those circuits and like calling one circuit the hyperactive circuit, which is the hyperpolarization circuit, and you need to bring that down. And the other circuit was like the serenity circuit, and that's the potassium thing. You need to bring that up. And it's like, nope. They don't need to know that. They just need to know how do you fix it? Dopamine, serotonin, done. So I am improving by the week. So thank you for all your time, for all your help. You can leave that there if you want.
No, of course. I mean, dude, like the reason why I did this is literally how I type out all of my mechanisms. If I can't fit it into like 2 or 3 lines, I just won't do it.
Yeah. So
it's almost like, go ahead. No, I think there's a bit of a lag. Go for it, man.
Yeah. So for me, I like to do it sort of in this. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, try not to have more than like 1 or 2 bullets. And the earlier mechanisms on that skin thing, like you said, were way too many bullets, way too much going on. And the crystallization of when I shared the skin thing about it was like Harvard finds that decline in the skin barrier is the problem. How do you fix it? With the makeover molecule. Where do you get the makeover molecule? Tallow. Like that. Once I got that, it's like that's what I need for every single promo. And I'm pretty sure I could do that exact thing with this. When I'm fleshing this up, I just want a little bit more to make sure I'm like I have a plan for how I'm connecting all the dots. But yeah, that whole experience has been super helpful to get to this point. So thank you. And hopefully if there's other people watching, learning from my mistakes has been useful.
Yeah, man. No, I think you bring up a really good point of just like, you know, even if you like, I've written a promo before that like hasn't done well, but it's still a success in my book because I learned a very valuable lesson that has furthered my career. Do you know what I mean? Like the success of a promo isn't just based on the actual metrics. It's about you grappling with stuff. It's about you sort of realizing the proverbial you, us, right? Like realizing that copy is actually 1,000 little decisions that when you add them up, create this incredible thing. So I think it's awesome. And I think regardless of how that promo does, like it's a huge win for you regardless. So
Yes.
excellent work, man. And I was going to say last thing, remember that link I sent you with all some of my old stuff?
Yeah,
I wrote an energy
spice.
promo.
Oh, sorry.
I wrote an energy promo one. Well, the pumpkin spice is on there too, but there's an energy promo that I just finished. That's very like everything you've tried is incomplete. This is complete.
Yeah.
So you can swipe a bunch of that language of just like incomplete versus complete. This
Yep.
only tackles one. This tackles both. Blah blah blah. You'll find
Cool.
it in there.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And I will send
work,
you
man.
the stuff for the menopause things that I have access to from this client. So
Yeah, man.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
all right.
Of course.
Thanks.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Harrison, what's up, man?
Very awesome. Very awesome. I'm back with emails. I have 3 emails here. The second and third ones are really short. So the first one is like an outreach email. I saw a client, like a prospect, and just sending emails to book calls, but his emails are really, really direct. Just say, hey, we have a spot. Click link to book a call, like super short. So I just add some testimonials and try to amp it up. So I want to see what you think.
Great. And this is for a call, you said?
This is for like an outreach email. So basically I'll send an email and say, hey, I saw you're writing emails to book a call, and I just thought I would write one for you. Feel free to try it out. It's like the Stefan's client acquisition method.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, this is great, man. The one thing I would sort of say is I'd really like you to work with much more specific subject line. Right now, it's sort of very, the copy is great, right? In the email, I'm worried that they won't even get there because the subject line doesn't allow
That's
them to
true.
open, right? It's just very like the one difference between winning and losing in what?
It's the subject line.
Right? It's just very, well, yeah, that's the ironic part too. It's like the one. So I wonder if there's any way we can sort of beef this up or have something a little more specific, right? Maybe we go from, maybe the subject line is like Tiffany went from 0 to 25K a month. Now
Or
you
I
can
say,
too, or something like that. Something's a little more
yeah.
compelling. Like what makes me want to open that?
I think I got super lazy with the subject line there. So I think it'd be like first name, meet Tiffany, something like that, or Tiffany making, and now whatever, maybe like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want this to be a super personal email, like, let's say this person's name is like whatever. I use Frank, right? But you can just be like, hey, Frank, meet Tiffany. Like that's a much better subject line because it seems a little bit more personal to me. And it's not like you're sending this out to like 2 million people.
I don't think so.
Right. Exactly. So I think it's a lot more personal, and I would much rather open this than this.
Yeah.
The second I see the one difference between winning and losing, I immediately drag it to my trash.
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah. Kind of the idea.
So you could do something like this too. You can do
or I'd say sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just think of like a shocking angle. It's like I paid them to write reviews or something like that. I pay for.
I mean,
these
you could do
reviews.
that if you really want to get wild, dude. Like, you could do this. If you want to get evil, you go subject line 4, are the rumors true?
Mhm.
And then you literally open up with like, yes, the rumors are true. Tiffany is crushing. God, I cannot.
Oh, I
type
love
today.
that.
It's
I love that.
crushing life, right?
Okay.
But that, you look, this is up to you. That's like, if you really want to get, this will get opened like a monster.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
But it's something to sort of think about. You know, this is up to sort of Decline and you. Do they know who Matt and everyone is?
Yeah,
Or no?
I think that's very, because like pretty much on all the company pictures they have like Matt and then this guy's picture. So I think that's I would assume kind of like Justin and Stefan. So people in Copy Accelerator would know. Like,
Gotcha. I mean, then you can
them.
literally say, if this is a novel promise, like work one-on-one with us, that's something to lead with in a subject line too, right? Where it's like, you know,
yeah, more like a direct kind of like a benefit or promise, kind of like that.
yeah, you can do that. It just really depends. I'm not sure what this list is sort of used to. I'm not sure what the client's used to sending out. It's just a question of like when I worked with Jason Capital back in the day, dude, we would literally send out subject lines that were like, yo, and these would open up. They would open like insane. It wouldn't make sense to us.
Yeah, but that's what what he always say, right? Yo.
Yeah, it's always
He
like
always says
yo,
that.
or like dude, this we just did this, and this just opened like it was nuts.
Nice.
So I think when it comes to subject lines, it's important to think about, cool, what have they seen before? What other lists are they on? Do I want to make this more of like a personal thing, or do I want this to actually seem like an email blast, but it's really, really informative too, right?
Yeah, I love the idea. I think I might do one of the short ones, just like, because I really don't know what the list is about, right? I'm just doing an outreach email, so I'll give them some options and they can choose.
Yeah, give them some options. Just be like, hey guys, like, and you can even explain it, right? Like whenever I've sent clients stuff for the first time, it's always just like, hey, like I always use this lame ass excuse, which if any of the clients I work with are on this call, sorry, but I always use this excuse that's like OMG, like I had way too much coffee this week, and what do you know? I wrote 3 subject lines instead of 1. I'd love for you guys to test all 3, and here's why.
Awesome.
So, you know,
Yep.
Feel free to have a little bit of fun with it and explain why you're choosing to do what you're doing.
Yeah. I'll definitely steal that line.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
And
Good work.
and there are,
Well, actually, let me read the last 2. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. The next 2 are super short.
Nice. No pun intended. So, high school buddy, my wife is hotter than yours. This is a good email. I like it. Like, I think compared to the other stuff we've sort of looked at from you, this is very concise. It's tight, it's to the point, and I love it. Right. The one thing I'll add here is there any way we can make this sound new, or that it just happened today, or whatever, in terms of like occasion, right? Because again, if I read these claims, this is something I've heard if I'm in the dating niche for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So it's
Or it can
almost like I
be-
want something here that's like, just something that makes me think like, is this new? Is there anything that's differentiated about this?
Yeah. That's a great idea because this one sounds like I could just change the front name to another guru and it would be the same, or apply it to this another company and then would work perfectly well.
Exactly. So it's almost like I
Yeah.
would dig into
Yep.
whatever the mechanism is and just have something of just like, and again, this isn't great copy. It's not perfect, but I think some sort of differentiation would
Okay.
make this thing click a lot harder. Because all these clicky emails, like if you look at the health niche, right? It's like, you know, if you're bloated, then I have fantastic news for you. Like, thanks to a brand new breakthrough, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like some weird picture of a pineapple with toothpaste on it. And it's like, click here now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Okay.
you almost need something that makes them think, oh shit, this just happened last night. This is brand new. So plenty of ways to do that. I think the easiest way is to probably just go into the actual mechanism of this page and bring it to life, bring it out.
Okay. Yeah, I think the same problem goes with the with this email. It's there's no uniqueness to it.
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, the structure of this email is great. Right. Some of these clicky emails, I mean, this is awesome. I just want, like, even saying something like there's a 3-step shortcut or there's a 30-second shortcut. I mean, that just adds a little bit more flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or fortunately, there's now a shortcut you can develop that you can use to develop unshakable confidence that women can't resist. One that's been proven by thousands of men during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Click here. Like that at least lets me know, like, oh shit, this is for realsies. This is happening right now.
Yep. That's very, very, I think that yeah, I think I actually have more emails like for Matt, but I think they all have fallen into the same trap. Just like they don't feel unique enough. So I'll just go back and edit all of them. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, of course, man. Good work though. I mean, dude, I'm such a fan of these like super clicky emails. I think if done right, I mean, they're just monsters. So
yeah, I'm just experimenting because it's actually more like a little bit towards relationship building, not that of churn and burn, but I'm experimenting to see how it performs.
Yeah, I mean, the short emails, they are sort of traditionally for churn and burn lists, but it's also, you know, when I write emails, I actually start at the level of the sales page or the VSL. Like the more built out a VSL or sales page is, the less heavy lifting the email itself has to do. So don't think that short emails are only for churn and burn lists, because the fact of the matter is if you have a 12,000 word VSL that can really do a lot of heavy lifting, it's okay to just get as many clicks as you can.
Awesome. Yep. I'll try it out and report back to you next week.
Yeah, let me know, man. Good work.
All right. Thanks so much, Mike.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Josh, what's going on, man?
Not much. How are you?
I'm well.
Epic.
So, overall outreach strategy for this campaign, ideas for follow-up message, optimal room for improvement. Okay, so this is for you?
Yeah, this is for a campaign. Yeah. I'm launching with a business partner. So the offer is basically we're doing a email sequence to their list, and then take those people and put them on a Zoom training. If that makes sense, for a high ticket outcome. That's basically the offer, or the deliverable.
Gotcha. Add 5 figures in our 2 messages. I mean, the main thing I would say is, like, you know, this sounds a little bit robotic.
Yeah, so the idea there was, I'm finding that if I make the offer compelling enough, it's possible to make it more generic as long as the offer is good for the LinkedIn outreach message. I mean, I'm getting a 15% connect rate on this message. I'm already sending it out. So
oh, great.
Unless I forgot to mention that. So that's actually pretty good for kind of a spammy looking generic request message like that one.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if I get shit like this every day and I immediately hit block.
Mm-hmm.
but if this
Yeah.
is working with high quality leads that are sort of paying out like
Yeah.
whatever, forget what I
It's
say.
super targeted coaches and consultants. It's supposed to be super targeted. It's using Sales Navigator plus outreach tool automation.
Cool. So I mean, yeah, if that's sort of working already, then I'd say go for it. I mean, the one thing I would add is, is there anything we can
So
add
the main thing,
before?
yeah, so that actually uses up almost all the characters. What I'm looking for is the outreach strategy on the second message. So once they click connect, they I send them another message that has more details, right? The
Do you
elevator
have that?
pitch. I don't. That's what I need to write. I did this like a couple days ago, so I haven't really. I thought it out pretty well, but I don't have like the copy for it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's brainstorm here. I mean, what do you have so far?
Yeah. So what I have so far, I don't have anything written for the second email message. What I have so far in terms of ideas is qualify them with kind of what I put in the second point there. They have to They have to be someone who's willing to charge high ticket. Ideally, have done so before, because I want to make sure pretty quick off that we're talking to the right people. The list is pretty targeted as to who I'm doing, but there's still people that might not be a good fit. So I want to get off, and maybe this is the wrong way to do it, but start off pretty quick of saying, is our service right for them? Does that make sense?
I think that's the best way to do it, man. I think, with some of these sort of qualifying messages, I mean, that's the point. You need to qualify them, right? Like, why sell someone a pen if they're not in the market for it?
Mm.
So I think you literally start off with like, oh, that's great. I saw this on your profile. That's super cool. And then you just, so you don't sound like an actual bot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you basically say something that is very qualifying in terms of like, hey, is this something you're interested in? Like,
Something like that was the intro is something that's on their profile that I probably ideally connects to the offer, right?
the
I just
message,
had,
right?
yeah, I just added
Um,
this in there, so
right. Yeah. Fine. You can do that, or you can just say like, hey, dude, like, this is a lame example. Like, hey, like, I saw you have a golden retriever. Me too. Like, I don't know. It doesn't have to be. You just basically have to let me know as someone who received this message that this is not a bot. I'm a real person talking to you who has feeling and emotion. If you can connect it to the offer, I mean, even better. But I don't think it's something that's super necessary. Because again, when I read the connect request message, and I don't know if 15% is good or bad.
it's pretty good for as spammy an offer as I have there. I've gotten 50% before, but it's usually very hyper targeted, and that takes a lot more time.
Yeah.
And it's just a risk reward metric, right? So I might get a lot less people with this one, but as long as they're, high enough quality prospect and it's not pre-framed that I'm a total spammer, I think it can always use work. But I don't think I'm bringing the wrong type of people with that first message. So I kind of don't want to touch that yet. If I'm finding I don't have any success with the follow-up messages, I want to revisit this first connect request. Like the
Great.
priming.
And what's the offer again?
Yeah. So basically, the offer is me and my business partner go through their list of clients and send a series of targeted emails that says basically get the prospects to raise their hand as an interested in a high ticket value outcome and kind of get a feel of like what they really want. using a methodology we have, and then we get them to come up with a qualifier, kind of like what I'm doing here, and say, is this thing that we have right for you, and kind of customize it on the fly to what the market's wanting, and then we come up with an offer based on that, that has to do with a high ticket offer that can be delivered on the promise in a series of Zoom calls. So it's like super simple fulfillment. And
Dude, I'm
basically
gonna be
charge a high
honest, I
ticket.
have no idea what the offer is still. I think so. The fact that like I'm having trouble grasping what you're even
Okay.
offering, and you're like explaining the offer over 3 paragraphs, like just tell me what you do, right? Because I think
Got it.
that'll
So
help us craft
so
the
So
message.
the offer, it might be too abstract in my head. The offer itself is the process or the outcome that we're delivering for their clients. Does that question make sense? So basically, I'm asking to clarify what you would consider the offer to be, so I know like how to answer it.
Yeah, I'm basically like, what is the elevator pitch? Like, how are you doing this? Are you writing emails for them? Are you doing Zoom calls?
So we do a series of 3 emails that leads people to purchase a Zoom call, a series of Zoom calls where the coach delivers the content.
Gotcha. Okay, that's much better. Great. So basically, when it comes to the qualifying message, I would literally just prove that you're not a bot, and then ask them if they've had any success with Zoom calls in the past, what their email marketing is looking like, yada yada yada, and basically get them to reveal that, you know, whatever, it might not be doing well, or we do this for email, blah blah blah. Because you don't even know if they're using email marketing to begin with, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. That would be something that I don't know with them.
Right. So that's what I would do. I would basically just figure out like where they're at, and then from
Ask
there,
questions
like,
instead of telling them stuff.
yeah, pretty much. You can do that, but if they already if they've connected with you, you also want to give the elevator pitch, right? Like, they said yes to this, so you have to fulfill it. So you basically have to say like, hey, dude, blah blah blah, like, sweet profile, quick question, and then all of this stuff, and you go, the reason why I'm asking is because we have XYZ, insert elevator pitch. We've been seeing great success across the board with all of our clients, and now we're rolling it out to a couple more people.
Something like that.
Sure. I mean, again, like, this is like a very, like, would you talk this way to a friend at a bar? Probably not. So I would probably massage it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think the sentiment is there. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what I'm looking for is the sentiment and structure and strategy. So this is definitely helping.
Great.
You flesh out what I have in my head in a way that is relatable and coherent.
So yeah, basically prove you're not a bot. Be like, hey, have you done any of this stuff? The reason why I'm asking is insert elevator pitch.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good rough.
Yeah, definitely.
Rough outline.
It's very rough. It gives me a good starting point, though.
Cool.
Is there any other thoughts you had on this? Like questions you had about the offer or structure, or what the hell I'm doing, or anything else?
No, I think I'm still having a little bit of trouble sort of wrapping my brain around what the offer is and how it works, but I don't think that's necessarily necessary for me to know right now. If you're already getting a good amount of people saying yes to this, then I would literally just give them what they said yes to. So I think your next sort of steps here are just like you getting really clear on what the offer is and what that means for the client, and then putting it into an actual elevator pitch.
Yeah. I sent a couple messages initially, and I'm like, I don't think I have this as dialed in as I wanted, so I kind of went back to the drawing board for the second message. I can show you what I sent the first couple people.
Sure.
Let me just look into my LinkedIn real quick. Here,
No
I got
worries.
one. Let's see here, copy, paste. So that's what I'd initially sent, which isn't really an elevator pitch because it's kind of long.
And are people replying to this?
Not yet. I've only sent out 4 or 5 of them, and then I'm like, I kind of don't like how this reads.
Sure. So before you get here, there's a step missing. It's like, hey, live workshops are great, and I'm going to help you on Zoom. You basically need a sentence here that's like, but we can't do live workshops now. So the next
Got
best
it.
thing is Zoom, which is why we've perfected it over the past few months. And then you go, but the problem with most Zoom workshops is that you have to handle all the tech, client outreach, logistics, and it's annoying as heck, right? Well, that's why and here's where the elevator pitch comes in. I'm going to handle all of that for you. And then if you have some sort of a money back guarantee or some sort of a, you know, like, hey, we'll do all this with nothing up front or something, I would probably.
Does it not have that in there? I thought it said
You have something, there's no
right
cost to
here.
you, but there is a
So-
cost of opportunity. Like there's an opportunity cost.
Got it. So yeah, so that one is in. This part doesn't work, right? So
No,
we
so
could take.
you can have it, but I mean, you basically need something that
It
convinces me
doesn't
that
say
this.
that it's on performance basis. I was thinking that same proceeds from the event would be split 50-50, but you're right. That doesn't say that we're doing it on a performance basis.
And then on top of that, like, I'd like some testimonials. Like, hey, we did this with so-and-so last week and they pulled in this amount.
That's a good point. We should share the case study we have.
Testimonials.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or would you like the case study as a call to action?
No, I'd probably just go straight for the kill because you've already said like, hey, do you want the elevator pitch? So they know they're there to get pitched.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't pull any punches. I'd literally just be like, hey, thanks for connecting. Like live workshops are sweet, huh? Yeah, of course they are. But you can't do live events right now because COVID sucks. And that's why over the past few months, we've been perfecting these Zoom workshops. So much so, Frank last week pulled in 50K in sales. Can you imagine that? The reason why is because we actually take care of all the shit so that you don't have to. So there's my elevator pitch, and now it's time
Yes, I like that.
for blah
It's
blah
much
blah. Like
much more
you know,
concise and potent than this is.
proceeds are split 50-50. We do everything, so essentially it's like free money in your pocket. If you want to learn more, great, let's talk. I don't even think you need this.
Okay.
You can, I mean, you can even say we do the majority of the heavy lifting. So all you have to do is show up on Zoom and do what you're already passionate about, which is teaching and moving the masses. You're getting paid money to do what you love. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I would flesh this out a little bit. I don't want to belabor this too much because I want to make sure that we move on. But
yeah, I really appreciate this.
Yeah, of course, man. I think, you know, this is a tougher thing to do. Like cold outreach via LinkedIn is like really, really tough.
Yeah.
So it takes a little massaging and finessing.
Yeah, for sure. I haven't had the kind of response I feel to like this type of message in a long time, so I really feel like there's something here. It's just a matter of getting, I think the second message is where I currently need to be focusing my efforts. So
I agree,
really
man.
like this call. It's been very beneficial for me.
Sweet. Well, I'm happy to hear that, man. Good work.
Awesome. Thanks.
Hey, Mike.
All right. Hey, what's going
up?
on?
Long time no see, yeah?
I know, man. Where have you been? Every time I hop on the call, I'm like, where's Mom Show? Where's Mom Show?
Well, you know, I'm just chilling and relaxing. I decided to take a break because I caught COVID and I was like very unmotivated.
Yeah. Are you feeling okay now?
Yeah, I feel amazing, fantastic. I mean, it was nothing like a mosquito bite.
There you go. Well, I'm happy to hear you're feeling better, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'm back to work again, and I have this assignment, which is a Facebook advertisement. It's the first Facebook ad I've ever written. So it's about a weight loss supplement, and the target audience is women over 30, married with kids, and I think they are significantly overweight. They have like 20 to 40 pounds that they need to lose. Confidence is down. They don't feel comfortable in their own skin, and you know, husband doesn't find them attractive anymore. And the product I think is something about dopamine release. You know, it helps you not to crumble under the pressure of you know, sweets and stuff like that. So this is my first draft here, and I just want to take your thoughts on the leads and, you know, on the idea behind the advertisement.
Sure. Who's my best friend? So I can comfort.
The wording might not be that good because, you know, it's just the first draft. I wrote it today and I'm going to edit it tomorrow.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, the thing I'll say is like, this is great. I wonder, is there any way we can get here faster? Because this is the fun.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is like the fun part, the new part of this Facebook ad. So I wonder if there's any way we can move this up, because all of this here I think is wonderful, but it's stuff that I see 20 times a day.
I got it. Facebook. Yeah, I can definitely move it up. The big idea basically behind the angle I used was, you know, food was my best friend, and I just wanted to convey that, and I thought it may capture their attention, but I'm not sure how strong it will capture their attention. So
yeah, you say, you know, food food was my best friend, but food betrayed me.
Yeah.
You know, I also wonder if there's another angle that you can
So-
basically have. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like at the bottom of this document, I listed 2 angles, but they're just 2 or 3 sentences, alternative leads. But it's just an idea, a rough idea that I can work around with.
You can also like have something that's like, you know, have you ever wondered why, or you could say something like, hey, we all have that skinny friend that could eat anything they want and they don't gain weight at all. Meanwhile, people like you and I just even think about a pancake and we end up gaining 20 pounds. Why is that? Well, according to a new 5-second breakfast trick, blah, 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 blah. According to a new celebrity health specialist, blah, 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 blah. So that's another option to do. Like, sort of, again, this paradoxical question.
That's amazing. Yeah, I will try this out. I might switch it all together.
Yeah, I mean, if they'll test both, like, send them both. Why not?
Yeah, I'll probably send them both. I mean, it shows my dedication to the project, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's also in your best interest to get as many swings as you can. So it's the client's like, wow, like this is great, they're over delivering, but secretly this is a selfish pursuit because you know, if
correct,
if you deliver 10 ads and one just absolutely explodes their business, they don't care about the 9 losses. You know, so
yeah, that's right.
You know, I'll give you an example. Whenever I write any sort of sales promo, and this is something I took from Gary Bensavanga. He used to write one lead that was like not just like down the middle, but something he was fairly confident would work. And then he would always include an alternate lead that was like, this either goes to the moon or shits the bed completely.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. I will try this out. I mean, it's Facebook ad. It's a short thing. It's not like a sales letter. I can craft another lead
out.
For sure.
Why not? I mean, you can literally just move up some of this 5-second trick stuff and then just add on the food is my best friend. And then if they trade me, add on all the other alternate leads you have here. And then the third one we just talked about, which is, you know, why can some people just eat as much money as eat as much food as they want and they don't gain weight? Meanwhile, you know, I think about a blueberry muffin and I'm bloated. All right, whatever.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that makes total sense.
So yeah, man, good work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, Mike. Thanks a lot. I'll take your advice and I'll work on it tomorrow and submit it as well. And we'll see what happens.
Sweet. Yeah, man, keep us updated and feel better. I know you're back to normal, but man, you know,
it's all right.
It's
all good. Yeah, appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, thank you.
Of course, man. All right, I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you next Monday.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Lau, what's going on?
Good, man, good. I've just linked a couple of leads that I have here for a listicle that I've written for Facebook traffic. So we go from the Facebook ad to the listicle, and then it goes on to another lander after that. And right now we're just testing leads to try and get the click-through rate up. And so I've tested 3 leads, and the 3rd lead's doing the best right now. But just wanted to get your feedback around these and try and get some new ideas that I could test for them.
So, okay, so Facebook ad to listicle to landing page.
To landing page to and then the product page.
So there's a landing page,
which is like the sales page.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
and the sales page goes to checkout.
That's it. Yeah, that's wrong.
Okay. And you said the 3rd one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can tell you why the 3rd one, the 3rd one's working, right?
Yeah, we thought it wasn't going to do as well as the others, funnily enough, but okay.
Well, because there's a clear mechanism.
Okay, perfect.
The rest of these, right? This doesn't tell me. I mean, this gives me 4, which is almost too much. Like if it's based on Harvard research and it's that good, why do I rather 4? You know, and this is sort of goes back to what we talked about a little bit earlier today, but we didn't really touch on with Hamad, which is just like the power of 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then same thing here. It tells me this, but it doesn't tell me the how.
I had a feeling.
Do you know what I mean?
I had a feeling it was the mechanism.
Like there's something missing.
Like I know I can't use what is it, timelines, but I was like, they don't have a mechanism for any of these. So I was like, I need one, and that makes sense. Okay, perfect. So that's why the third lead is doing well. What I suggested to these guys was I was like, I wrote 2 story leads of story editorials for them as jump pages that are doing really, really well. One's doing 48%, the other's doing 52%. And I was like, why don't I just write this as a story editorial? And again, the power of one, and use a mechanism. And they're like, okay, so I'm going to be doing that. But they just wanted like an alternative lead to test in the meantime. So I want to make this one stronger if possible, or try something new on lead number 3.
Oh yeah, well let me read through it and see if there's anything that comes up. So if it's, can you have natural in here?
Yeah, sure.
Or use this natural loophole? To beat addiction. I almost would go to beat addiction ... use this natural loophole to start getting results fast.
Okay, cool.
What do cranking score concentration like that? Nightmare. Are you allowed to use like U-type language on this listicle?
Yeah.
Then I'd probably be like, you know, if you've tried quitting before, I'm sure you've run into crankiness, poor concentration, lack of sleep. Well, it's because of nicotine withdrawal. Just basically make this about a little bit more about them instead of sort of about no one.
Yeah. Cool.
Gotta find powerful ways that activate the same level. And then the only other thing I think might boost stuff is this natural loophole is backed by Harvard research and proves you can do all this stuff. And it's working for thousands of regular everyday people like you, living in the real world with real responsibilities, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because anytime I read stuff like this, I'm like, great, that's in a lab. What about like Johnny down the street?
Yeah. Do you think it's too much of an exaggeration to say like working for millions? It's better to use thousands, right? Just more believable overall.
I think you basically go with whatever is true. You know, if it is millions, then I would go with that and just like, you know, it's sweeping the nation. Yeah, you got to find powerful habits that activate the same reward pathways in the brain. And right now I'm going to share 4 easy ways to get it done, easier than you ever thought possible. And then you get into it. And you can even have the without type language here, without quitting cold turkey, without using these weird tar, whatever it is, tar filters, blah, 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 even if, no matter. And then when you get into the 4 things, the only other thing I'll add is I haven't read the rest. I can't, you know, I don't know what it is, but basically the worst thing you can do with listicles is to just give them what they want, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, because it gets predictable, right? And when you give me the first thing, you've bought time before the second thing to make me read whatever I want. Does that make sense? So you can have a lot of fun with some of these listicles. It'll make it longer, but it might actually help with qualifying the prospect a little bit more. So by the time they get to the actual landing page, they're a lot more pre-sold on it.
Okay. How we've set it up right now, the first one, so they're basically selling like a deep breathing device, right? So the first option I've gone and said like, this is our recommended choice, and then put down the deep breathing device. And then the second one is a guy who uses a morning ritual, but the morning ritual is the deep breathing device when they click through to the link. And then the last 2 are just 2 random natural ones that we haven't really sold at all. It's just like to fill like I guess the rest of the listicle.
Yeah, I mean, well, what you could do then is just like first one, breathing device, so awesome. Look at all this research. Like if you don't get the breathing device, then you can do this morning thing. And then the rest of the two options, you basically just say, you could do this. And then you basically just say, well, what are the other two options, first of all?
I think one's ginseng. They're both like it's natural herbs. Because these guys are all about natural remedies. So I think it's ginseng is how you say it, ginseng, the herb.
Yeah, ginseng. I mean, so what you could do is then like, I don't know, you could say basically, you could just talk shit about them in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Like ginseng is great, but there's a big problem with ginseng that like only this deep breathing device fixes.
Okay, yep, I understand.
So you always want to push them toward that. Like, yeah, you could do this, but here's the problem for a lot of people. It only works for a month or whatever. So if you want long-lasting results, that's why we started this list with the deep breathing device and why we recommend it, because it takes care of all the stuff ginseng does and more.
Nice. I really like that. That's cool. Anyway, also when I was like looking for swipes, it's really hard to find jump pages from my experience. Anyway, do you have any place you'd recommend to look? Like I tried some of the more native sources, but there aren't really jump pages there that I use on Facebook, for example.
Yeah, can you give me an example of a jump page? I'm not sure I'm familiar with the terminology.
Sorry, so like a really short, like a 300 to 400 word advertorial that is just used as a bridge between the Facebook advert and the sales page.
I know Golden Hippo runs a lot of those always.
Cool.
So they might be a good bet. I think you can also, I mean, my whole swipe thing is I always go to swipe.co.
Yeah.
If you've ever been there, because my buddy Mike runs that website, and he's just a great friend, and I always look at, like, he just somehow finds stuff. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. He's so good at it.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So
okay, cool. Yeah,
I'll look on there for advertorials. Trying to think what else. What you could do also, and I don't know if this still works, you can basically open up incognito mode in your browser and then just click around like CNBC, Wall Street Journal, like all of these sort of big publications, because they'll have sometimes native ads.
Yep.
Or not native ads, but they'll have like little banner ads and shit that you can click on that should, for the most part, take you to an advertorial, if not a full sales page. So
it's a good idea, actually. Populations and follow their funnels. Yeah, I like that. Cool. Awesome, man. Thank you.
All right, man. Yeah. Well, everyone, good work as always. I think I got to everyone. So
I had a question.
Yeah, what's up, man?
I've been reworking that thing that we were working on. I wondered if you have time, if you could do like one last look over of it.
Yeah, I can
if
glance
not,
at
that's
it. I do
cool.
have to. No, I can glance at it if you want to pop it in the chat. I do have to go at 1:15.
Sure.
So I'll try to
pop it in the chat. There it is. Just the top part, the first page.
Yeah, the only other thing is I would get a little bit more specific on what this is, right? What is the bulk of the work? Right, we do the bulk of the work, which means we write all the emails to get them to the live event. We write the landing pages, like the tech, whatever it is that you guys actually do. And this is why I wanted you to get super clear on what the actual offer is, like what you're providing. I would have some sort of specifics on, like, you know, we do all this shit so that you don't have to. So you just show up, teach, collect a paycheck, bada boom, bada bing. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sweet.
That's all. That was helpful. Thank you.
Sweet. All right, guys. Well, I will see everyone next week. Good work.